Imagine the diary of a young Brazilian as he tries to express his desire for the horse of his dreams. A horse that could be his friend, his teammate, and together they could become famous. Imagine the ghettos of Rio de Janeiro, a pinto pony harnessed to a primitive cart. The little horse is undernourished and overworked. 16 hours a day he pulls corn and silage up and down the streets of Rio. Imagine the intoxicating ambience of Rio de Janeiro, where proud Brazilians have created a culture of stimulating diversity, where the very rich drive down the same streets as the very poor walk or drive their cart ponies. Imagine these two worlds coming together when a little girl whose warm heart and gentle ways convinced her father to save the cart pony from his wretched existence and brought him to a riding school where the young Brazilian rider would encounter the little horse.
1 year later, that girl, she left the States to do the university, and so my friend came to me and he invited me to buy the horse, share with him. And I said to him, do you think I'm crazy? I'm gonna throw my money away in that little horse, that Indian pony horse? Do you think I'm crazy? He said, no, you must believe me, you won't regret it. That's one of the best horses I've ever ridden in all my life. Please believe me, and you won't regret it. You're gonna make a lot of profit on that horse. And I said, okay, but you know, I was not sure about that. Okay, next week he came again, he tried to push me and buy the horse with him. And okay, I said, okay, you got it. I will buy the horse, share with you, but with two conditions. I'll never want to ride this horse. I want that nobody knows that I bought that horse. So you ride the horse, you improve him as much as you think that he must be improved, and when he's ready, you sell the horse and you give my money back, my profit, and that's it, okay? He said, done.
Now the imaginings of a young man named Carlos Ribas, a cart pony named Mumu, and a little girl become the ingredients for the most extraordinary true story.
And that time, I was a younger rider. That time, I think I was 21 years old, and the national championship from the younger riders was coming closer. And that time, I used to have two horses, and both of them, they were lambing. And I said to my friend, now I have no horse to ride. I think I'm out of the championship. And he said, how can you say you have no horse to ride? You have Mumu. And I said, stop me say that. I already told you that I will never ride this horse. Now you ride the horse, you're going to see. But, okay, he convinced me once more. The day after, I sit on a horse a little bit just to make a school in jumps. I jump it, and the day after, I went for the championship.
Initially repulsed by the common little horse, Carlos and Mumu struck a chord at the championships, in competition and with the crowd.
I won the 3 days of the event, and after that, everybody saw that the horse was good enough to jump with everybody else, and even me, I started to fall in love about the horse.
The newly crowned young rider champion of Brazil faced a new dilemma. Carlos had many offers to purchase the funny little horse called Mumu. But Carlos had an inkling that just maybe, by a twist of fate, he had found the horse he had desired.
What makes him be the fighter he is his heart. He's a small horse, but he's got a big heart, a lion heart, I think. He's a big fighter.
With the arrival of Mumu into the life of Carlos Ribas, the young Brazilian became a man with a purpose. The cart pony was transforming himself he was becoming a horse bonded to one man, a horse no one ever again would take for granted.
Another clear. 3 of them now.
I think horses might be a disease. Once you have that, you cannot get away from that, you know. I know a lot of people, they started riding when they were younger, and one day they stop, but they always come back riding. You cannot get away from the horses. That's very difficult. Horse is a disease.
Mumu and Carlos were now teammates. After 3 years, the time had come to test their spirit, their talent, and their courage at the next level, the international playing field. Fellow countrymen, the legendary father-son team of Nelson and Rodrigo Pessoa would be advisors to Carlos and Mumu, their mentors and support, while living in Europe, show jumping's Mecca.
Nelson Pessoa, I think everybody knows he's a legend. He's a genius. And if you talk about horse sport, if you talk about Nelson, that's something unbelievable. I could see how difficult it is to become a horseman, because sometimes you can sit on a horse and do a nice course, win a class and everything, but sometimes that time you're not a horseman. A horseman means you start understanding your horse. You can see your horse inside the stable in the morning and you see, oh, today my horse is not so good. You can sit on your horse and start walking and trot, and the first step in his trotting, you feel today not his day, and so you start respecting your horse. You know, today I won't jump him, okay, I leave him rest a little bit, okay? And on the other side, you become a horseman and you see when your horse, when he needs a correction. Okay, now I must do this with the horse, must do that. That's is the big thing I learned with him there.
With hooves and feet safely on European soil, some 5,000 miles away from the ghettos of Brazil, a new rigor of training and competition takes place. Things are not easy for the swarthy Brazilian on the odd-looking pony. They are no longer the hometown sweethearts. They are strangers amongst many skeptics.
I think it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. You don't realize how difficult it has been so far. Now, okay, now I'm having a little bit of success, and now I'm breathing a little bit, but sometimes I'm too much under pressure, you know. You must pay the expensive. In the end of the month, you don't have so many sponsors, you don't have owners. I flew here to Europe 2 years ago with 2 horses in the plane, me, with all the money I had, and I bet everything I had. In the first 2 years, I thought that I had lost everything, you know.
The word defeat is not a part of Carlos nor Mumu's vocabulary. Because of their powerful thirst for improvement, victories began to trickle in, and the reputation built for the flamboyant young man and his lion-hearted cart horse.
Mumu is a small horse, but when you sit on him, you don't feel he's small. You start trotting him and canting, you know, he tries to transform himself, and when he sees offenses, he changes completely. He becomes a lion, you know. Maybe, I don't know if I'm talking too much, but during the big course, I can talk with him. I talk with him, I think he can listen to me. When I think that there is a combination, something that might be a problem for him because he's a small one. He's 154, and sometimes I put him in 150 courses in the derbies. They are long. When I think that combination might be a problem for him, I ask for him, please. I say, now pay attention. That fence is coming, please pay attention. Something like that, and he turns his ears like this. I think he understands, and that he fights.
For 12 months, Carlos and Mumu paid their dues, gaining in experience and honing their skills. When finally the call came, it was up to the majors with an invitation to the world-renowned Hickstead.
Very, very interesting partnership. It is indeed Carlos Ribas from Brazil paying his first to Hickstead, but so is Van Gansend Winkel Mumu. A little coloured number that was actually originally found pulling carts in a pig farm in Rio de Janeiro, would you believe? But this now a part of a very good string that Carlos has in Verviers, Belgium.
It's as clean as a whistle in its jump. Come on, Carlos, keep kicking. This is the sort of stuff that wins speed derbies.
Carlos and Mumu didn't just show up at the majors. They went to win.
What a great effort.
Stunning the crowds, perplexing the skeptics, and writing the first chapter of their own story.
Hopefully we'll see these characters again.